Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio. Your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Well, hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. I am Tracy Cram Perkins, and our show today is the Dementia Home Care Show. I invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, USA Global TV and Radio. I am a four-time dementia caregiving survivor and the author of Dementia Home Care: How to Prepare Before, During, and After. And I am so excited today because joining me today is our special guest, Lisa SCHULTZ from the Care Partner Project. It is her mission to serve every care partner through their easy-to-use resources and innovative online support products, such as the Care Partner 3-month planner. So welcome, Lisa.
Thank you. It's so fun to be here.
I'm so excited. We've been talking about this for a while now. And I would like you to share with our audience, since most people probably don't know you that are my audience, would you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, thank you, Tracy, and thank you for having me. I'm absolutely thrilled to have this discussion with you online versus, in a coffee shop or a meeting. So my name is Lisa. I am a co-founder of the Care Partners Project. The Care Partners Project was created through a collective of women sitting around a retreat one day, and we all realized we had caregiving for our parents, caregiving for our grandparents, caregiving for our siblings, spouses. And we were talking about organization, chaos, community communication, and we were failing at it. And it started on a napkin, on an airplane, and 2.5 years later, we have an app and a planner and several different versions. And the mission is serving the caregivers, putting them in the first position every once in a while so they can think about themselves to reduce burnout, build community, and help them communicate with so many people who want to be a part of the process but don't know how. So that's a little bit about us.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so when you and I met and you were explaining to me all the different things that you have, I can't wait to show the audience, first of all, because this is very exciting. First of all, I am a book person. Yes. So having the hands-on book, now you have a book that is a 3-month planner, which I talked about when we were first introducing you. And in it, you have so many different things that people don't even think about. So can you talk a little bit about how you came to that point, how you organized it, what you were hoping for it?
You bet. And, also on that little piece, I've been what I call a distant loved one of caregivers. I've been also close to the caregivers. So my life has been crazy, and we can go into that if you're interested, but let's go back to what we love is the planner. Talking to other caregivers, what we realized is people live on spiral notebooks and sticky notes, and my past experience has been nurses writing random things and no organization, and you're trying to get to stuff. So what we did was we created dated planners and undated planners, and we're trying to prompt our caregivers to go, okay, this person has had X amount of glasses of water, but you know what's just as important is how many glasses of water the caregiver has and what kind of mood the caregiver's in. So what we've done is we've done daily schedules where the patient can we put in the patient schedule, put in the patient schedule as well as the caregiver schedule. Now, this also helps the patient look and have a little more control over what's going on. At the beginning of the week, we break down what the week's going to look like. We break down what's their goals, what's going to empower me, what's going to give me joy, right? So we're talking to those caregivers. Then in the middle of the week, we have little doodles, and in the back, we have doodles and puzzles and all sorts of great stuff so that people can enjoy themselves while they're sitting at the doctor's office, while they're sitting at, I'm trying to find a doodle page for you, little sweet little doodle pages that you can write on and do things like that. So what we're trying to do is make sure they look at the basics, but expand on their mental health. I hope that helps. And then we've got cartoons and inspirational quotes and that. How that came about, we just talked to caregivers. We probably interviewed 50 to 100 caregivers and said, what are you doing with your time at the doctor's office? What do you need to do? How do you escape? Right? A lot of them go on the phone and they play games and they get lost. But just like you, I would just love to color. I would just like to make something beautiful. So we've made sure that our planners have that.
So at the beginning of your planners, I noticed that you have a bunch of circles with flowers and other things. And can you talk about that? Yes.
So what we did is there are so many diseases out there, terminal illnesses. And what we did was we wanted to acknowledge at least 16. We have 12, but we have actually 14 because we have extra spaces for others. But what we did was we wanted to acknowledge those diseases that have the majority of caregiving needs. So we've got the month that they have acknowledgement, the flower that represents them, in the color. And so we try to make sure that we pick a color in our quarterly planners that focus on one of the major ones. Purple, right? We've got Alzheimer's and dementia. So each of our covers are a little bit different for each quarter.
I think that's so cool. So
Thanks.
one of the things that you also did is you have an app that
Correct.
you have created. And I found this particularly fascinating, and I just was hoping you could explain about that to the audience.
I'd love to. So first of all, the app is on the Google Store as well as the Apple Store. What we wanted to do, and this came a lot through my own personal experiences, I have family in other states. My mom was in another state. My sister was an hour and a half away. And the communication, if I didn't read a website, sometimes I wasn't up to date, or a text group would get out of place and I was in the wrong text group. So we created the app to mirror the planner. The difference is a planner stays on a table or it goes with you in your purse and you hand it off to one person. The app allows you to include people who are part of these people's lives, and it allows them to see everything in real time what you're putting in. They're notified, hey, Lisa just did an update in the notes section, or something's been added to the schedule. And what we love about it is we've kept it low so that people can afford it. The monthly fee covers as many people as you want it. So it's one place to get all the communication. You can have multiple patients on it as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, what I'm sure this has grown organically. I mean, what were some of the stumbling blocks that you had with this?
Oh, great. We're learning blocks. It seems like as you know, with your amazing book, the more you get in, the bigger you want it to be. But sometimes we just have to keep it simple. Some of the stumbling blocks are people that are caregivers. Their lives are not chaos, but they're disorganized and they're living off of other people's schedules and moods, right? It's a bad day. I can't do that. So our biggest stumbling block is just giving them the space or the best way to train and give them that peace. Once they're in our products, they're like, oh my gosh, I love it. I had a woman I met last Friday, and we sent her the planner because her mom was gravely ill. And she said, I wish I used it sooner. After my mom passed, I went through it and I went, oh, I wish I had that. Oh, I wish I knew about it. So that's the biggest one, is just trying to shift them from a system that they feel is good into a system that could be so great for them. And the big thing is great for others, right? It's that communication piece. Caregivers feel so alone. I mean, you felt it, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, talk to me about that a little bit. What were you feeling as a caregiver for one of your many loved ones?
Well, let's just put it this way. Um, it's very overwhelming. You have a lot of things that you face right in that moment where you have somebody melting down or screaming or threatening to hit you, or and not knowing what to do, or they become ill and they can't tell you what it is. I had an issue with my own father where he got hypothermia and I didn't recognize the symptoms because it also looks like dementia, and I didn't know what hypothermia looked like in somebody with dementia. So I mean, it's amazing what can happen when you've got all these things happening at you all at once. And I had to build a support group organically. So I did not have this kind of tool available to me. And just, it was a stumbling block. Now, there are other things out there that, are similar programs that were available. But at the time, I didn't know any of them because I didn't have the access to it. So it was one of those things where you, as a caregiver, you are lost. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going around you, or even where to look. So that would be my next question. How would I, as a caregiver, find your product or find
Mm,
you?
thank you. So we are trying to make ourselves as easily foundable as possible, right? So we have our website of carepartnersproject.com. We've tried to make it very simple. We're in the Apple Store, the Google Play, as well as Amazon is where we publish our planner. So thank you for showing our website, and everything you can see videos on how we operate, and we make ourselves accessible. I've got a great staff, and our goal is to return our information back to you within 5 hours, no matter where you are in the world. So that's one of our cool things. The other thing I wanted to add in that we've got that's really unique is on our app, we've got what they call a wish list. And what we found is, as people want to serve and want to help you as a caregiver, they go, what can I do? Right, Tracy? And you were like, I'm sorry, it's not a good day here for me to tell you that we need Depends or we need, something, right? So what happens is the app allows you, as well as the planner, to write the stuff down or copy and paste the link. And there's a QR code on the wish list. So the next time somebody sees you and says, oh my gosh, I heard about Brother Bill. How are you doing? What do you need? You can go, you know what? This is Brother Bill's wish list. Here's a QR code. If you'd like to purchase something, that would be wonderful. So that discussion and that responsibility is off you, but it allows somebody to come into your world and serve, right? Because that's what they want to do. There's so many people who want to serve. They just don't know how. They don't know what to say. They don't know what to do. And my goal is that the planner and the app allow people to get a glimpse of the world and see how they can serve you better.
You know what I love about that? As someone who has done multiple family members, you don't have time to teach people how to help. And so sometimes it's just easier to put off help and say, no, I'll just do it. And we also have this inner feeling of what's wrong with you if you can't do it all. So, I mean, I just love the fact that you've got that available where you can have a wish list in there. And then if somebody wants to pick and choose and say, I can help you with this. So maybe I just need you to bring over a casserole. I mean, whatever it is, maybe I just need somebody to chat with for 5 minutes and get away from, just go for a walk or whatever it is. And can you come sit with my loved one? So I can see how that is just a wonderful tool for anybody that wants to use it.
Well, exactly. And that's what's so great on just trying to build this community. So I have a father-in-law who's in his 90s, and he's still great. He's in assisted living, but we've got one family member taking care of medical, another one taking finances, another one physically boots on the ground, right? And watching the communication and the changes. they get frustrated. So and I sit at the table, I'm like, you've got an app, you guys. And they went, oh, that's right. And all of a sudden they're working on it. So even as one of the creators, it's hard to get people into a habit. And the habit's really important because these programs can save a life. We have on the app, do you want me to roll into my QR codes?
Absolutely.
So unfortunately, I can't show it because of the screening, but on our website, you can see each patient, as long as the caregiver approves it, can share the information, illness, medication, what they've got through a QR code. And a friend of mine is in the fire department. I've got another one in the police department. And before we launched this, I shared it with them. And they're like, Lisa, this will save lives. So let's say they're on a travel bus for a senior care or a daycare situation, and you give the QR code to the driver, and let's say something happens. That QR code gives the EMTs and first responders everything that person is medically on, and they're able to react without allergy medications or reactions or stuff like that. So it's a one-time, you can continue using the QR code, but the people can't get in the system. They only see the important parts of that. So we're so excited about the QR code. Other programs that we don't see have it. You've got to log in. You've got to be a part of it. You can see everything. This is a special bonus piece.
So for people that don't have the app, can they see samples of QR codes on your website, or do you have a place where they can look at it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for that. If you go to carepartnersproject.com, click down the how-to videos, you're going to see each section of the app that you can review and see. And then if you want to purchase a membership, we give you a 7-day free trial. So as you can see, we've got the website up. We keep it very clean and neat because we know people's worlds are pretty chaotic. So we want to make it as simple as possible. If you don't want to use an app, this is also website friendly. So if you have a membership, you just log in to carepartnersproject.com, sign in, and everything that the app has is on the website, and it's real time.
So, okay, since we have your website up, where is this the how-to videos? Are they at the top of the screen?
If we scroll up and let's see, there we go. Thank you so much. I love having a production team. So go up to the tippy top on the right, you're going to see more. And then you can see the how-to videos. And then you also can see the checklist. So there's your how-to videos. And these checklists, we change these quarterly. Like right now, we are getting ready to load our tax season. We just came through the holidays. So we want to give you guys checklists as caregivers of things to remember when you do it. So holiday will come off. Winter's coming off this week, spring's coming on, tax prep, because there's so many tax deductions for a caregiver that they don't realize. And they might, normally people go off general, but let's put some money in your pocket. You've earned it.
Oh, that's phenomenal. So, all right, what was the steps that led you to think of these things? I mean, was this something that you had yourself where you were going, okay, I know I'm missing something here? Or how did you, I mean, most ordinary mortals would not think, oh, do tax prep. Honestly, I wouldn't have thought of it. I didn't think of it.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things, right? You sit back as a caregiver, or you're hearing about things and you're going, I screwed up, right? I missed the medication. I packed it in the bag. I didn't pre-order or pre-shopped for a delivery of all the different things we need when we travel, right? Or you're meeting your people, your loved ones on holiday, and you're running to the store because you forgot this, and this. Or, I'm in Florida jumping on a cruise. True story. My husband forgets well, I should have said my husband. Anyways, he forgets his CPAP mask, right? So he spends half a morning in Florida driving an hour and a half away to get his CPAP mask. It's these little checklists that's going to make life simpler and better. So we just love We just love that. And then I'll try to show you the awesome QR codes that we've got. This is a sample of the QR code on the app. So you've got your patient and the QR code. So I could scan that and I could get that patient's information just like that. Now, if you're what they call a buddy, you've got access all the time. But you asked me a question, I'll jump back to it. How did we get to know this? I traveled with my aunt who was blind. I didn't have the first idea what she needed in the hotel rooms, how to get her there. And she didn't remember, right? So if I had a checklist, I would be more prepared, which would give the trip a beautiful time. So it's experience and listening to our caregivers who go, boy, I sure could use something like this. Great. What did you forget? And then we write it all up.
Okay, I admire that just because I had to go through that from the ground up. Matter of fact, I felt like I started in the basement and had to dig my way out first. It was probably more like a root cellar, but I mean, it is, you're working from scratch when you are a caregiver and you are a first time caregiver especially, and you have no clue what's going on. I mean, if maybe if you are a parent, you've got some skill set, but for caregiving for those people that are, like the open face sandwich generation, they don't have kids. They're looking at this like going, what is going on? Because you have no uh, room in your wheelhouse for any information other than what's happening right in front of you. That would have been so wonderful to have that list, or any of those lists, as a matter of fact, just because you don't know where to start.
Well, and just a plug for the amazing work you've done, right? So as we met, I went through your workbook. And as we've talked, I have sent your home care book to several of my friends, and they've called it a Bible. It is they're like, I didn't read it through, but boy, I went to that chapter, and boy, that's amazing. And that's kind of what we're trying to do on this planet, right, Tracy?
Mm-hmm.
It's just serving people who serve people, you know? So anything we can do to make life easier for a caregiver because they've got enough on their plate, let's just do it.
So I have to ask you, how do you feel now that it's starting to get out there and people are actually using it? And I mean, how are you feeling about this? Because I'm just dying to know. Just dying to know.
It's really it's awesome, right? Yeah, just like you. It can be overwhelming some days, it can be awesome some days, but I think the best thing is listening to the caregivers and have them go, oh my gosh, this was so great. This was so helpful. This was amazing. So how do I feel? It's become a passion project. It's in my soul. I'm not going to say it's a calling, but I will tell you, um, I'm not built for this. I've had a really stupendous career. So I am learning. I'm kind of like that lofty teenager trying to go over hurdles and I'm plunk, right? But you still get up and you go, that's got to be out there, right? So to answer your question, I'm super excited. I'm super excited where it goes. We've got people in Korea. We've got people in Switzerland using the app. How they found us, I don't know. Spoke to a woman last week in South Carolina who was just struggling to figure it out, and God bless her, she did it, and she's amazing. And it gives me a lot of encouragement, and it makes me know that there's just amazing people on the planet who are fighting very hard for their patients. The least I can do is give them something that makes it a little easier and lets them think about themselves. I mean, if I could reduce burnout, if I can keep caregivers from losing so much of their identity, so when their their watch is over, whether it's because they're healed or because their loved one has passed, or maybe you're a professional caregiver and you just need something to help you out. When that job is over, where are you and who are you and how do we keep you involved and give you peace and space in the process? Because we don't want you to get lost. I mean, how did you feel, Tracy?
Oh, I was like most people. I wasn't sure what to do, and I had to figure that out. Fortunately, I did have a day job that I was working on, and then I eventually developed other activities.
Yeah.
Obviously, the passion for making sure that caregivers didn't go through what I went through, but it's interesting because when you were talking about that, because I can understand the feeling very much what you're discussing. Um, what was surprising for me was the feedback from the people that are using it. So when I was going through some stuff in December, you and I were working on your dementia version of the planner, and I was using actually all the samples that you sent me. It was really phenomenal because, and I apologize to anybody that's squeamish, but I had a family member that had a very bad health issue due to dehydration, and it was not a pleasant experience. And we had what should have been hospitalizations, but because it was at Christmas time, all the hospitals were full
Mm.
and we couldn't get into the hospital. So I had to use every tool I could find to help my loved one get through this awful ordeal. And we thought it was a UTI. We had drug interaction problems with a allergic reaction to a um, antibiotics. So, I mean, there was a lot of things that went wrong, but ultimately it went right and everything's back to normal. But I used that planner because we had to keep track of the fluid intake. And then I had to keep track of the toileting. And just having that little toilet icon was so handy because then I could just check it off. Okay, we've been here, we've been here. And eventually I was just writing a number in there going, okay, it happened at this time. It happened at this time. So, I mean, it was just so I would know when it happened. But it was very, very helpful for me to use that, which is why I'm very excited that we're talking about this and sharing with other people right now, because you just don't know what life's going to hand you. And to have a tool where you can just say, okay, my mind froze, I'm panicked, and I don't know what to do. And I can just flip this open and go, hey, okay, I need to make sure I'm getting them to drink this many cups of water. Wait, I need to drink this many cups of water because that's what happens. You just panic, you go into then okay, I have to do these things, and you're not necessarily thinking of the broader picture. So that's one of the reasons I love what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. And it's thank you for that. Thank you for sharing. And that's exactly why we do it, right? There's a little part of the book that's really fantastic, and it's coming in the app next month. We're in the test flight mode, but there's little moods, and you can't see it very well because of the lighting. You can't see it at all, but we have 6 little faces. Are you happy? All the way to I'm not feeling comfortable. I'm feeling sad. That has been, you asked earlier, kind of one of those changes. And what it's done has been amazing. The patients who are nonverbal are able to still, if they've got some cognitive, can point to their mood, can point. And we literally have had patients bring the book in, or the caregiver bring the book in. The nurses and doctors are looking at the book and they're going, wow, you've had some depression lately, or you're not feeling right. And they go into the book, they look at the medication, and they've seen a correlation with that, which has been amazing. So the moods, as simple as it is, so important. The output, just like you said, UTIs, dehydration, um, the planners has to have some of that stuff in it. And thanks to you and your conversation, we were able to pivot and adapt to make it better. So there's some really great stuff in there.
Well, I know that I am very excited to see this when it comes out into the world. I mean, it's just like I said, I actually put it to a field test unexpectedly, and it worked out great for me.
Isn't that fun? Yeah. So
Oh,
one of my gals, she's using the planner for herself, and she's using the app for herself. So she had an asthma attack with the bronchial stuff that's going around, and she was in an emergency room for 8 hours in a hallway. And she started writing down everything that they were giving her. And the nurses and doctors, because they were moving so quickly, she was telling them, I think what you're giving me is triggering my asthma. And they're like, no, it's not on your chart. And she's like, look at my planner. And the nurse grabs it from her and she goes, That's amazing. Hold on a second. And she comes back. She goes, you're absolutely right. What is that? And so I've got a little sales pitch in the middle of Christmas in the ER. But it just tells us that sometimes we do need to take charge of our care and to have something as quick as an app or something as quick as the planner, so that you can keep memories of stuff is super important. Right now I say, if you're using something great, can I make it a little bit better for you? Just give it a try, give it a run. Price wise, really inexpensive, $20 for a 3-month planner. The app is $9.99 a month, and you can put as many people on it.
So let's talk about that part. So you said you had buddies. You mentioned that earlier. So what level of access do people have, and how do we decide what to grant them?
Great question. So there's right now 2 different levels. So the first level is a buddy, and a buddy gets to see medication, illnesses, schedules. They can be delegated stuff. So I can schedule Dan to take Dick to the hospital for physical therapy, or I can schedule Nancy to go get groceries and give her the list in my notes and tasks, because we've got task checklists. Then what happens is those people can see and communicate with each other and do all that. The next level is a pal. The pal cannot see the medications. The pal cannot see the illnesses. The pals cannot see the schedule. Only a pal can be communicated to. So there's kind of like a text message situation. So there's lots of different things on there, but you have to go, there's lots of other communication channels that you can use. But the problem is you have to exit out and put into another, where what we wanted to do is have a communication tab that just says, hey, I'm at the hospital. He's got 104 temperature. Please think of us. Right now, we'll keep you posted through this. So you invite people to be pals. So that's the 2 levels we've got. Buddies can see everything, do everything. They cannot delete anything. Care providers, the one who's paying for the membership, has full access. Create, delete, change. Buddies can create their assignment, but they can never delete. Pals, communication, and limited views. I hope that helps.
Yes, it does. And we actually have a viewer question.
Great.
So one of the viewers asked, how do they sign up? They want to know, how can they participate in the program?
Oh, I love that. Thank you. Just go to carepartnersproject.com. If you want the app, you can find us in the stores, Google Store or the Apple Store, and look for Care Partners Project. If you want to sign up and you're web-based, you can sign up right online. Just go into carepartnersproject.com, click on membership. If you want the planner, you go through Amazon and just put Care Partners Planner. And we've got 4 different versions. We've got the dated planner for 2025. If you wait until tomorrow, that price is going to go down to $15 because we're already halfway through. I've got a undated Christian version, an undated children's version, a silver superhero undated version, and an undated. So dated and several different types of undated.
Okay, so now, what about pencils and colored pens and things like that? Because you've got stuff for doodling back there, and I just love the idea.
I know. We have not, you know what? I've been trying to, like I said earlier, I've been trying to keep it simple, and I have not communicated I have not done it, but I will tell you, I think I'll give you a checklist of different cool things that we've done. Here's kind of some of our doodling for you that you're talking about. Inspiration. I have to thank my graphic artist, Carlene, who has 2 family members who are ill right now. And so she's doing a lot at the cancer center and doing all the doodles and going, I really need this. But that's how you find us. So go to Amazon, Care Partners Project Planners, see which planner is going to work best for you. If you're an app, I've given you that information. And thank you for being interested. You made my month.
So we're starting to come to the end. We've got about 6 minutes left. So what I really want to know was what was the most unexpected and cherished feedback that you had from either the planner or the app?
You know what? It has to be the nonverbal. That just pops in. They are dear friends of mine. Don't want to get emotional, but the dad is nonverbal. And thank you for putting that up. And what happened is the wife was very reluctant and she didn't want to use it. She felt like she had a handle on everything. As she said, I use the fridge. The kids started using it. And then all of a sudden, dad's looking at the planner and he points to the face. And now this nonverbal, well, Trace, you know it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a wall, and all of a sudden, the wall is open. And we can now have as little of a conversation, but such a meaningful conversation. So every day the kids go down, they show the book and they point to the book. And that's got to be the best when we are breaking down barriers, breaking down walls, opening ourselves up. I can't wait for the breakthroughs for the caregivers. I want to hear those letters. Oh my gosh, you made my life so much easier. I took a walk today because I wrote it down that I'm going to do it this week. That's going to bring me pure joy.
So you also made me think of something else when you're talking about the gentleman pointing to the smiley faces. When people have aphasia, there's other things that they can't communicate either. Is that something maybe you'll incorporate into later planners? Is different aphasia tools so that people can point that maybe they want X or Y or Z in their daily lives, just to make it easier for somebody to figure out what it is they're looking for?
Wouldn't it be amazing? Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
We are an evolving business. We are here to serve. We're here to make life easier. Um, just like you, when we met in November, you said, or December, you said, I need this. And I went, we can do that. We can do that because of your expertise in this product. Yes. Does it serve everybody? Yes. So yeah, this is evolving. We're looking at journals, we're looking at other stuff. But what we really want is people to use the product and give us feedback, be part of the change and part of the improvement of others' lives. That brings me pure joy.
So how do they give you feedback?
Oh, great. Join our Facebook group, right? Care Partners Project. Feel free to send a message. Join our newsletter. So sign up for our newsletter that we have on our website. We push out a monthly website. And then as you can see, I'm pretty open. Please feel free to reach out to my emails. And like I said, my team and I, we love to get that feedback and that. Make sure you leave an email that I can reply back to, as well if you're better on the phone, because I may have questions. Just leave me your phone number. Tell me what time zone you're in, and I'd love to give you a call. My daughter's in Amsterdam, so I am living in several different time zones anymore. So I'll call you anytime.
I love that. I just love that. Well, we're almost done. Do you have any other words of wisdom you want to share before we go off the air?
Ooh, good. Caregivers, take time for yourself, even if it's just 10 minutes. Give yourself a little bit of love today. Take that walk, take that breath, ground, have your favorite cup of joe or coffee or tea or water, but just stop. And if you need help, write it down. Just hand a piece of paper to somebody, or check out our product and we can do it. But there's so many people who want to help you. Please let us try.
Oh, Lisa, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, everybody, we will be back on March 18th, and our guest will be Nikki Jardin, founder and editor-in-chief of Mirador Magazine, a dementia-friendly online and print publication created for people experiencing cognitive change. In the meantime, you can go over to our YouTube channel at USA Global TV and Radio and look for the Dementia Home Care playlist, where you'll find all of our past episodes. Thank you to the wonderful Dr. Jacqueline for all of your hard work behind the scenes today, and thank you to our sponsors for making this possible. See you next time, everyone.
5 Little Known Secrets for Dementia Caregivers with Tracy Cram Perkins.
Hi there. I am Tracy Cram Perkins, the host of the Dementia Home Care Show here on USA Global TV and Radio. I am also the author of the book of the same name. And you'll see this QR code. This is for an extended version of the same talk. So if you want to see the full hour-long version, feel free to scan the code and go to that website. Stick with me. We'll talk about 5 little-known secrets to make it a little easier to do dementia caregiving. What you're seeing on the left-hand side is a healthy aged brain, age 55 and above. The one you're seeing on the right is an Alzheimer's disease brain. It is in moderate disease. It is shrinking. It has holes in it. The memories that were in those holes no longer exist. When you're learning something, let's say in kindergarten, you learn how to tie your shoelace. Well, then by the time you're in 2nd grade, your brain remembers that information from tying the shoelace and applies it so you can learn more quickly how to tie more complex knots. So the brain is hardwired to do this for us. So it helps us learn faster so it doesn't take us long to acquire knowledge. The brain is looking for the information and they pick the closest to wherever that hole is. Let's look at some tips that we can use to help do that. These are 5 simple tools you can use as a dementia caregiver to help your loved one. The whiteboard is a useful tool in recording the day's activities and the answers to repetitive questions. The calendar clock is a very useful tool to orient your loved one on the day, the date, and the time, and remind them of upcoming appointments. The communication cards are a great tool to bridge the gap when they can no longer tell you what's wrong. And then there's the pill minder for when your loved one is still able to take pills but needs prompting. The final tool I want to share with you is the memory book. It tells your loved one's story. It's a great tool for distraction, redirection, also as a conversation starter, and telling you where they are in their story so you know how to answer their questions. Music is probably the most powerful tool in your toolbox after laughter. Music is a way to maintain connection. It sticks with your brain longer than any other thing, including reading. When you're having an issue with somebody, you can play their favorite music if you move them to another room, something that makes them happy, or you can start singing songs together from their childhood. These are some of my favorite books for caregivers. My show airs on the 3rd Tuesday of every month, and you can view past episodes on YouTube. Thank you, everyone.
This program has been brought to you in part by Tracy Cram Perkins. Connect with her and order her book at tracycramperkins.com. For more information about Alzheimer's disease, support resources, and how you can help, contact the Alzheimer's Association at 1-800-272-3900 or visit their website at www.alz.org. They offer 24/7 helpline support and a wealth of information to assist you and your loved ones.
Ever dreamed of hosting your own TV show, sharing your story with a global audience? Now's your chance to shine. At USA Global TV and Radio, we make it easy for you to create, host, and broadcast your very own TV show. Whether you're a storyteller, entrepreneur, or industry expert, we help you bring your vision to life. With our exclusive interview, live streaming, and podcasting training, you'll gain the skills and confidence to captivate your audience. Our global platform ensures your voice is heard worldwide. Join our community of creators who are already making an impact, one show at a time. Step into the spotlight. Host your own TV show on USA Global TV and Radio. Book your discovery call today at usaglobaltv.com. Copyright 2025 USA Global TV and Radio. All rights reserved. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit usaglobaltv.com. Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honored to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/usaglobaltv. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dies. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.